Yeah, I bet you're almost as good as Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris? Chuck Norris?
Hey, kids, it's second class cinema!
Hey!
We're gonna be watching kids' movies the whole month!
Hey!
Let's start the show!
Welcome to Second Class Cinema, the show where we watch a B movie and immediately discuss. I am Tom. I'm here with Brittany, Eric, and Eric Rautenstraut.
Hello.
Hi, Erics.
Hello.
We're here with a couple of Erics tonight. And actually, we had Eric's sister on, Ashley, for the Samurai Cop episode.
Yes.
So we like to keep it all in the family here.
All in the family.
You know what I'm saying? Just
I'm
like
saying.
Corn and Fred Durst.
Yes.
So tonight we watched the 1992 movie, Sidekicks.
Yes.
92.
Yeah, I know. 1992, starring Jonathan Brandis, Chuck Norris, bunch of people, actually.
Third
Joe
pick for Kids
Piscopo.
Month?
How do you forget Joe Piscopo?
Yeah. Yeah, I should have said
Bo
it first.
Bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still going on Kids Movie Month, and picked this delight.
And it was your pick.
And it was my pick.
Why'd you pick it, Tommy?
That's a good question. I picked it because I wanted to watch something I really liked. I wanted to watch something that I remembered being really good.
Exceeds expectations.
You were not wrong.
No, yeah, that's why I picked it. I figured it would be a good follow-up to Max Magician, because Max Magician was so bad.
Sorry,
Gosh,
Aaron.
awful.
But before we get into what the movie's about, let's very quickly turn to Eric for a moment. And Eric, what's your relationship with B movies, man?
I don't watch a lot of B movies, but I like some B movies, like Army of Darkness, Bubba Hotep are two of my favorites.
Yeah, Bubba Hotep's
Anything
fantastic.
involving Bruce Campbell. Can't go wrong with that.
Definitely not.
That's what the B&B movie stands for.
Bruce.
Bruce.
Bruce Lee,
Makes sense.
Bruce Campbell, good to go.
He's looking rather trim again these days, as a sidebar.
Aren't they coming out with a new one?
I think it's a show, right?
Yeah.
Show, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a show. Yeah, so back on the subject of Sidekicks. Should we go over what it's about?
Yes, please tell us what it's about. Enlighten us.
All right. As a very quick overview of the movie, it's about a young boy who faces a lot of challenges in his life. He's got asthma. He's kind of a geek. And he is obsessed with Chuck Norris.
Who isn't?
I know. I mean, it made perfect sense. And so he works with Mr. Lee to work on his karate skills. And the movie is about his journey to gain self-confidence using Chuck Norris.
Using Chuck Norris.
And there's a bad guy, and Joe Piscopo plays a bad guy, which is great.
The greatest heel of all time.
Oh, he's such a heel. Oh, God. But yeah, that's basically the overview of what it's about. A lot of karate, a lot of ninja stuff, a lot of daydreaming. And
A lot of military.
a lot of military?
Military back scenes.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Yeah. Well, I feel like every single daydream he had was just a Chuck Norris movie that
Yeah.
he just was put in.
They're just pilots that didn't make the movie, so they just put them in sidekicks.
All right, now you're going to fight Nazis. All right, now you're going to fight the Viet Cong.
Hey, Aaron, none of these got green light. Can you just dump it into your crappy Sidekicks movie?
Yeah.
All right, this movie was directed by Chuck Norris's brother, by the way.
Aaron Norris, yeah, who also made like a ton of other Chuck Norris movies. So he really gets what the subject matter really is.
It's like Deadly Prey.
Yeah, with the
Nice,
brothers.
nice brother action.
Yeah, good point.
Do you know which Norris is the elder Norris?
I do
The
not,
elder
I
Norris.
do not know the older Norris.
Probably
Elder
Chuck.
son Norris. I think it's Chuck as well.
You think Chuck's the older one?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, you clowns, cut the crap.
So I guess we can get started with this movie. We can dive into successes if we'd like.
I would like that.
Let's start with successes. What did this movie do correctly? What did it do right? Why did we enjoy this movie as much as we did?
First of all, everything.
Okay.
This movie is fucking awesome.
Everything.
I've seen it like 30 times,
Yeah.
and it never gets less awesome.
Yeah, so let's... I know I watched this movie growing up. You said you've seen this movie tons growing up, Brittany.
Yep.
Eric Rautenstraut.
I've seen this movie. Christ. No less than 100 times.
Wow.
Not even joking a little bit.
Not even almost.
Growing up, I had a van. Well, my parents had a van. I was young. And we had several VHS tapes in the van with VCR, with a TV. And this was one of the many videos that we had in it at all times.
That makes perfect sense.
This was the only one that mattered.
Real quick, what were a couple of the other ones that were in the van?
If you can remember.
Jurassic Park.
Good one.
Classic.
Three Ninjas. The first one, Surf Ninjas, was also very, very popular.
Also on the docket for Kids Movie Month, by the way.
Yeah, those were the three main ones.
Some classics
that were in there all the time. I mean, Rob Schneider and Surf Ninjas.
Yeah.
Those are pretty solid.
I feel like I want to hang out in the back of your van now.
We should do all the movie viewings in the back of that van.
We
Call
can
up Eric.
find that van.
Call up Eric's parents, have him drive us around.
For like an hour and a half, do the whole thing in the car.
We're going to Wright's Farm, everyone.
Yay!
We can have mobile, like, you know how like ZL Hex and everybody has like mobile viewings. We should do that.
Just do it. Do a marathon. Yeah. And Eric, what was you hadn't really seen? You only seen clips, correct?
I've seen clips, and you guys have talked about it a number of times. But I was only aware of the trappings of Sidekicks. I knew the plot. I knew some of the famous lines, but I had never seen it start to finish.
All right, cool.
What was your general impression of this movie, if I can ask?
Pretty good. It was better than I expected.
Nice.
What made it better?
Well, I'd say it's got a better structure than I was expecting. And I think the direction was very competent. I was surprised because I was just sitting there like, Chuck Norris movie directed by Aaron Norris. Yeah, I bet that's good because I'm a fucking asshole.
Boom, in your face.
But even like the little things, especially because we watch a lot of crap on this podcast. I just thought like early on there was some pretty inspired shots. Like there was just a very brief dialogue scene that was kind of dumping some exposition between the main character Barry's father and his teacher, and there was some very dynamic camera movement just for basic dialogue.
Yeah,
and I found that kind of surprising for a movie like this. They didn't have to put in the effort, and they actually did.
Yeah, they
refreshing.
They had production values were very high because our character daydreamed a lot, so they had a lot of very short vignettes of small action scenes going on, all of which competently shot.
Yep,
everything looked really good. At the very end, dojo scene, tons of people. You know what I mean? And what we say the budget was 16 million.
16 million, yeah.
We saw the budget, which.
And it made like less than 4 at the box office, which is terrible.
That's awful. This movie's way better than that.
It is way better than that.
That makes it so cool if you have a stub from this movie. Now, what's the normal budget on a B movie? Like, what is that, like, what you guys do?
So, well, for instance, I mean, let's bring up Stay Tuned, which had a budget of $25 million, right?
Correct.
Which it only made 10 back, but we've seen movies that have a budget that's smaller than the money I have in my wallet, which is about $7.
Isn't that a K movie?
The actual definition is a low budget commercial film, but I feel like if a movie has a huge budget and it fucking bombs, then you're a B movie. Like, you're not an A-list movie. You are a B movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And when we do a theme month, we kind of blur the lines a little bit, too.
Yeah,
just because
definitely.
we want to grasp for the kids movie more than we want to grasp for the B part, I think, a little bit. But it's still better to keep it on the down low.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes the line between cult films and B movies gets blurred a little bit. But
yeah.
I always thought that was kind of the same thing. Yeah. I mean, you can have a hugely popular, successful cult film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I mean, Star Wars probably...
Wait, what now?
Cult movie, right?
I've never heard of the Star Wars. This must be a real deep cut.
It was it's from
based
like
on
the
Space Jam?
late 90s, right?
Yeah. It's got that Sky Luke Walker in it.
Jar Jar Binks.
Sky Davis, Luke Walker. That joke is for literally 2 people.
Okay, so back on track.
Pluses.
Yeah, some more pluses.
This movie is super relatable. I feel like everyone loves an underdog, and it's something that just transcends decades. Like, anyone who could relate to that in 1992 can relate to that in 2015.
I was gonna say, I think this movie could stand the test of time.
I totally agree.
But I mean, I guess we can get
ages
into that.
7 to 11, I think would totally love this movie.
Yeah, even now, because it's about the underdog, the daydreamer, him trying to overcome all these shortcomings he has, and you can totally relate. It's an accessible movie.
And
totally good versus evil.
Yes,
Lots
exactly.
of good versus bad people. Like, very, very, you could see them.
Yeah.
The bad people
very
were
good.
so bad.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like, you can't help but side with him. Like, Joe
Exactly.
Piscopo's an asshole.
they're not even like, they're not even bad people you like.
Randy Cellini's a giant douche.
Oh my god, I cannot tell you how much I love the name Randy Cellini.
I think
how bad it sounds.
I think that's Italian for giant douche. I think I looked it up earlier.
Definitely is.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
That is totally a last name that doesn't succeed. Like, you would know that kid in high school, and you'd never hear another Cellini ever again
He
in
works
your
at a
life.
gas station.
Yeah, one of those things. He pumps your gas. Yeah.
He works at Cumbies.
Besides, a very good distinction between good and evil in this movie. What else do we think was a plus? On top of that,
Joe Piscopo.
Yeah, I have him as
Everything
listed as a
involving
success.
him was so good. I'm telling you, and I love Johnny Dangerously. That's one of my all-time top 20 probably movies ever. Way better in this movie. Like, as a character, as a whole character, so funny, horrible, terrible.
I've actually never
So
seen
good.
that movie, but I love Michael Keaton, so
Yeah.
I really feel like I need to see it.
I think we should just stop this right now. Watch that.
We'll be
movie.
All
back.
right. Yeah, Kelly Stone was one of the, a very over-the-top, disgusting, despicable bad guy. And you hate him from moment one.
You just hate him.
Yeah.
Hate him,
Yeah.
hate him, hate him.
And I mean, I've never like got Joe Piscopo. Like, I saw him in Dead Heat, and he was like the least funny part of the movie. In fact, he dragged
Do you
the
ever
movie
watch
down.
him in SNL?
I've never seen him on SNL, but I know he has a reputation for being terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was that second wave of just like after the first group of people. Then it was like Joe Piscopo. It's a big drop off.
I never even knew he did that.
Yeah.
But he feels so perfectly cast in this. Like, I understand why people saw something in Joe Piscopo when I see this movie.
He's such an egotistical jerk.
Yeah, he plays that role so good.
He's like talking shit to Barry and while he's like polishing his karate fingers. Oh, it's so
How
great.
ripped is he?
On a
Not
scale
as
of
ripped as I
like
thought.
not as ripped as you remember.
Not as ripped as I thought.
On one to Vince McMahon, he's like a 9.
Well,
McMahon
see,
being 109, right?
he ripped his
Definitely.
gi off, and I was like, nah, he's not that cut. But then when it cut to the other scene and he was like super dripping oil, I was like, all right, he looks way more cut now, obviously, because light is shining off like every
yeah.
facet of his
He's
body
high contrast now.
He looks exactly like I do. Without joking.
secretly.
He's not lying, by the way.
Yeah, no, we got Joe Piscopo in this room right here.
I loved the montages in this movie.
All of which were very tight, very good, and well balanced throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah, and they had like a progression. Like first he's like wheezing everywhere and his asthma sucks, and then he's like getting stronger and more confident. Which I
Yeah.
appreciate. They didn't just show us the same thing like 4 times.
Yeah, it was gradual.
Yeah, it wasn't like a 10-minute montage that, like in the the last third of the movie. To
Yeah.
tie everything together. You saw it progress.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
peppered and it was nice.
Peppered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good word.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was very reminiscent of Rocky without feeling like derivative.
Yeah.
Where you kind of see the build up. People like I think a lot of movie makers tend to forget that a montage is just shorthand for like, well, he's going to be good all of a sudden. Like,
Gonna make a montage.
it's going to take a little while. You don't just learn karate overnight.
Yeah.
You have to drink a lot of absinthe to get good at karate.
as we know.
Absinthe. Yeah, you're right.
One thing I'm going to call a success, and it could be misconstrued as a favorite part, and I just might just chalk it up for a success anyway, is all of the gnarly guitar riffs.
So good.
Like the whole there had to have been over
Yeah.
100. Like when people get kicked in the chest. Oh, dude.
Yeah, that
I
was
love
really
to hear
great.
the guitar riff outtakes.
Oh, yeah, the ones they didn't use.
No, that wasn't enough.
Can you take
get it
that
again.
girl a little deeper, please?
Not enough high end.
Yeah, give me a wee from the top, please. Thank you. Definitely made this movie way better.
Yeah, the
So
music was
good.
great. The montage music was great.
Yeah.
It was like a great Asian-inspired 90s.
Upbeat, kind of, let's rock this kind of thing.
Yeah, it was great.
It was super Asian inspired without being, well, 100% racist.
Yeah, it wasn't like mocking. I didn't feel like it was like mocking
No,
Asian culture.
It was pretty racist.
Yeah.
Oh, there was some other stuff that I want to get to when we go into risks for sure.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
think this movie was gonna have any risk. We're like, yeah, this movie's fine, but I also hadn't seen it since maybe 6 years ago, and I was listening, and oh my god,
I wrote down
incorrectness.
I wrote down like 5 things, and I think this actually has more risks than any other movie we've watched, which is really surprising.
I think that's just 1992.
yeah,
It could
it
be, yeah.
definitely is. So much of it is just that it's 1992. But I have to say that the fact that Jonathan Brandis is in this movie is a huge plus for me.
Oh yeah.
Major childhood crush. By the time this movie came out, I was already obsessed with him because of Ladybugs and It and Neverending Story. So
Ladybugs.
I think was Ladybugs after this.
Ladybugs was after this.
I think he's a little more mature in that movie.
know.
But Rodney Dangerfield.
He was 15 when this movie was filmed.
Wow. Well, that
So-
makes sense. He's struck me as maybe between 13 and 15.
But now I have to know.
I
No,
think
but
Ladybugs was like 95.
it's so depressing that he committed suicide
Yeah, that was
because he was such a
such
great
a bummer.
child star.
Yeah. And he went under the radar for a bit. He popped back up in Outside Providence in my life. And I was like, hey, there he is. And then he went off and did something very terrible.
Yeah.
That's something I've never seen outside Providence.
That's a good one.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
Like,
It is.
a movie exists about Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Go fucking figure.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
There's Buffalo 66 about Buffalo.
There
so
you
I know
go.
that.
Nothing about Attleboro, though.
That's
Let's
good.
keep it that
Yeah,
way.
That's probably the,
That's
for the
a
best.
plus.
This movie's success is that it wasn't in Attleboro.
Here's Tex
Ladybugs
Berries.
was the same year.
Oh, 93. Wow, he was a busy year for John.
That was the same year.
Good. I love that. Ladybugs is a fantastic
He's
movie,
in a
too.
lot of stuff.
So
I know.
good.
We
Yeah.
should probably do that at some point.
Yeah, just, I don't know.
I think that's pretty trendy now with Bruce Jenner and him being a guy and a girl.
Yeah, right.
Let's do that.
Oh, my God, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Very topical.
Yeah, it'd be like a special.
Yeah, I like that. You know, the hot headlines, you know?
I totally,
Hot headlines.
I
cinema.
totally didn't buy him as like a loser though. I was like, if you have that hair in 1992, all the chicks are gonna love you. Like,
Yeah.
obviously.
Was the girl in that Rice? Was that the same girl?
Wait, what?
Rice from Beethoven?
Danica McKellar?
No. I'm talking about Ladybugs now. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, so we're on
No, that's Vanessa.
Ladybugs. Vanessa Shaw.
Yeah, Vanessa Shaw.
That's not Rice, right?
No, Vanessa Shaw was in Home Sweet Home,
All right.
right?
Yes, she was in 40 Days and 40 Nights.
Which we also covered on this podcast, YouTube only.
Sorry, I just think about Rice like every day. The older I get, the creepier it is.
Was she the older sister?
She was the older sister, definitely.
that's
No,
not that
the younger sister. I'd be in a box right now.
So I'd say the overall, just all of the daydream sequences, those are just so good.
Fantastic.
It seemed like a bunch of movies pieced together, but not like a collage. Like they
Yeah.
all flowed. Seriously, they were so good.
It was like
every
the
time I
same-
watched it, I was like, "Oh, I forgot about the other one coming up."
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
Yeah, and this movie definitely, it collected a lot of favorite parts from all of us for sure. I know that'll get.
I did write down a whole lot of them. Although every daydream sequence was kind of the same. It was just like chaos, rescue, free the lady.
Well, because they're all based on Chuck Norris action movies,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
those were pretty basic.
I only have 2 negatives for this movie.
All right, well, what are they?
Mullets.
How is that not in positives?
You can't blame 1992 for having mullets.
And I think it might
I
have been
do
unironic.
love.
half the
It
time.
was definitely unironic in 1992. I love an ironic mullet, and I love mullets ironically, but in reality, they're terrible.
I'm going to make the argument that Jonathan Brandis in that one like daydream sequence, that was an ironic
when
mullet.
they
I agree.
gave him Chuck
Yes.
Norris's identical
That
mullet,
was a total joke mullet.
that was beautiful.
yeah, that was a good one.
My second failure is Bo Bridges.
You didn't like the
I was
bow?
like, Bo Bridges? No, Jeff, sad face.
I like Bo Bridges.
Yeah, but if you're gonna pick,
He's
between
about
Jeff
a
and Bo,
as boring of a person that's ever existed.
Well, his dad was supposed to be a computer programmer from Pittsburgh.
yeah.
That-
So
yeah,
you're
it's
going to
perfectly
hire
cast.
Bowring Bridges.
like, are you surprised that he has asthma and is such a little bitch?
I know. When his dad's a computer programmer from Pittsburgh. I feel like they hammered that in me. Unless
Pittsburgh.
it really stuck out and I just don't even know.
Hey, I'm a computer programmer from
Why do
Attleboro.
they
That's
live
even
in
sadder.
Texas?
They
Did they go over that? Why they
they
moved to
only
Texas?
added that in because
No.
Danica McKellar's character was like, my dad would stuff him and mount him.
Oh.
He was like, that's because your dad's a Texan. My dad's from Pittsburgh. It was just like, it was
vomits
wicked
everywhere.
pointless exposition.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He didn't have a mom. Did his mom die?
Yeah, his mom's dead.
Yeah, so that's probably why they
The
moved to
impression that
Texas.
I got,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's sad.
No
Yeah,
wonder he
we
was
could
such an
say.
escapist.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Well, those are my only 2 negatives. Anyone else have anything to contribute?
I have a negative, and it's an uncomfortable scene more than it is anything. But it's when Barry goes to the hospital and
For his asthma attack.
because bad asthma attack in the hospital. We have Mr. Lee just rubbing his chest for a little too long.
With some mystical Chinese topical ointment.
Yeah, it was just a little too, like, even as a kid, I remember being like, yeah.
Pretty sure that was a dream sequence.
Who is his or Mr. Lee's?
Brand, either one is creepy.
Agreed.
Only your mom is supposed to rub Vicks on your chest.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
It says it
on the
right there.
Hey, hold on. Did my mom rub this Vicks on my chest?
Well, I can't get better now. Sorry.
It just burns.
That's not even a negative. It's just a scene that made me just think twice.
Yeah.
And then the outright racism.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a negative. I just didn't really know.
Yeah, you're
Bother
right.
me. I mean, for
It's not a
1992,
negative. It's just
It doesn't add
funny
anything.
to talk about.
It doesn't add
It's not a
anything.
plus, not a negative. Is that a neutral?
Yeah. What did we say those were? When they're-
risks.
Well, no, the things that go in the middle?
Stuff that we edited out of the episode.
Correct.
Yeah, my
Forget
negatives
everything.
were just more for comedic value.
Yeah.
I was just being super picky because
Yeah.
I really have no beef with this movie at all.
What job would we have if we couldn't pick a negative out?
I think I do have a pretty significant negative.
Which is?
I think a portion of this movie has a pretty terrible message to kids in that being a violent psycho weirdo will get you the girl. In that Jonathan Brandis' character has like a crazy freak out in front of Danica McKellar's character.
Yeah.
And then like the day later he like beats someone up in gym class and all of a sudden she's into him. That's
Yeah.
a little weird. I wasn't crazy about that
She
message.
was just a terrible character in general.
But
She
I mean,
sucked.
Fuck you, Winnie.
whoa.
Back to the Wonder Years, bitch.
Whoa, that was harsh.
She was. She sucked so much in this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
did
just
suck.
pitied him, and she didn't even want to admit it to herself.
She admitted it like to his face, and then it was like, "Oh no, that's not what I meant."
She was blowing Cellini.
Yeah.
She's like, "It's just that everyone
would.
else is so mean to you, and I just feel so." And he was like, "Bad for me." And she was like, "No, I mean."
She almost killed him.
Yeah, she really did. And then he had the scariest daydream he could when the gym teacher was putting him on a torture chamber, and that was pretty great. We'll address that later. So I guess we can transition to risks. What did we think? Like I said, we had none. I thought there were none, and then we watched it and went, "Whoa, wait a second."
This goes hand in hand with Stay Tuned as a movie that should never, ever have been rated PG. I think.
Really, I think they could. I think the PG rating still stands for me, but
I don't know. He said kick your ass so many times. And he said chink so many times.
yeah, they said chink a lot.
That guy at the bus station said chink like 3 times.
Heard
And
a couple of retards.
Yeah,
a couple of retards.
the gym teacher was yelling at Barry for being a lady because he couldn't
Yeah.
climb out. Like
Yeah.
that wouldn't fly today.
Yeah, that's just
I mean, it's
being
the time.
1992.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's of its time.
Yeah, but now, like, I think that might not land so well.
I think
Yeah.
you could pretty seamlessly edit this into a modern PG, though. Like, I don't think it would be difficult.
No,
a couple
like-
of ADR pickups you could.
Throw it on ABC
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah.
What about Joe Piscopo as like a Viet Cong leader with like
Oh
a
my
Fu
god, I forgot
Manchu?
about that. Yeah.
His mustache.
You would have to cut Joe Piscopo in yellowface.
Yeah. Yellow face.
I mean, none of it really offends me. But
No, it was.
I mean,
You do have
the
to consider
world
the
was
target
refreshingly
audience.
not PC in 1992,
Yeah,
which I kind of
You're
appreciate.
doing a totally like
Yeah.
accent
Yeah.
too.
but- yeah.
I know it was not not good.
This isn't good.
Yeah, but I thought interesting. It was for kids. 1992. Yeah, we were just way less conscious back then.
Yeah,
I
look
guess.
how we turned out.
We're all fine.
We're terrible people.
We're all awful.
Horrible.
Fatfoot Films' newest comedy, How I Dumped My Ex-Boyfriend's Body, is now available on DVD and Blu-ray, exclusively at fatfootfilms.com. Critics are calling this raunchy comedy brilliant, hilariously dark, and instant classic. The How I Dumped My Ex-Boyfriend's Body DVD and Blu-ray is jam-packed with hours of bonus features. This exclusive offer is only available at fatfootfilms.com. Get your copy today.
So I guess with that, we can now transition to favorite parts.
Whoa.
Hey-o.
I have a lot.
All right, so let's just quickly throw some stuff on the table here. What are some people's favorite parts so we can probably all agree?
When Mr. Lee fucks up the bikers in the restaurant.
Oh, and he's like the drunken waiter.
Yeah.
When I was younger, when he was putting the alcohol all over him, I had no idea what he was doing.
Me
I
either.
thought that was like part of like being cool.
Dude,
I was just like,
get himself in the mood.
yeah, that's all I thought it was. And I was like, oh wait, he's
He
being
was just
drunk.
pretending to be drunk.
I get it.
I know.
So these bikers come in, for anyone who hasn't seen this
That,
movie,
that
I guess.
biker looked like Bam Margera's dad.
It was totally Phil.
Totally did look like Phil.
Yeah. Bikers come in and get rowdy after hours at the Chinese restaurant, and Mr. Lee stumbles
That's how-
out with a tray of Chinese food and destroys them all.
Have you been to the Monku after hours?
No, is it like just like that?
Exactly like that.
People
Bikers
just
everywhere.
fighting,
Yeah.
just shoving faces in bowls of rice.
Yeah.
You want rice?
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, that was a really good part.
There's so many good parts in this whole movie. Anything really. Joe Piscopo at the end of the movie is so
That final
good.
kick.
The final kick where he just kicks and goes spinning. Wow, wow, wow. There's nothing better.
Yeah, like, and I love how he just totally rips off his clothes and he's just screaming, and then it cuts from like a dry shot of him to a totally greased up shot of him in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, yeah. That
Running
was,
full speed at Chuck
that
Norris.
was pure testosterone. Just coursing through his veins.
Oozing out of
Yeah.
his pores.
Yeah, just
Like right before the shot, he just punched himself in the nuts like 7 times.
I don't know. The brick breaking with the fire is pretty amazing.
That's
Yeah.
And
pretty
that's
cool.
so like you know.
I always thought that was cool when I was a kid.
Yeah, I thought
yeah.
that's so symbolic. It's like you can do anything.
Yeah.
All
Well,
that nonsense.
we talked about this during the movie. When I was a kid, I always thought that lighting those bricks on fire gave him the unfair advantage to break the bricks easier.
I think
True.
it does. But
Do you
if
think
it's
that's
not
why
in the,
he did it?
If it's
We
not
need
in the
an
rule
expert.
book, then
Yeah, let's get a new
Let's get
report drawn up.
A brick breaking expert on fire.
Yeah, I'm sure there's one out there listening right now. Why don't you let us know if it's easier?
Listen, if you're a brick breaking expert, come to our offices. We're going to light you on fire.
We're gonna try and punch you in half.
the gym fight, the fight in the gym where Cellini's punking off Barry, and he finally fights back.
Yeah.
And starts like kicking
DJ.
his ass. That was pretty satisfying.
Totally.
Not bad, kid.
Not bad at all.
And on piggybacking on that, the gym teacher is amazing in this movie.
He's fucking awesome.
Oh my god, he had one of the best lines
I think I
in
wrote
the
down
whole
the same
movie.
one.
It was, if you drop dead on me, kid, I'm gonna shoot myself and come right after you. Something along those lines.
I'm using that tomorrow in sales.
I swear.
yeah. Oh, that's so good. If
Wasn't he on like Night Court?
he's in a ton of stuff, and I can't remember his.
I feel like his name was like Bull and something.
Probably. I told you, he looks like Sagat
Oh.
from Street Fighter. He even had the scar in that one scene. Just not in his huge chest.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
In
The
that torture
character of Mr. Lee was just awesome.
Yeah, Mr. Lee was perfectly
He
cast.
rules.
Great.
What was
Wears,
his
like,
real
a
name?
tiny
It was
little
like
fedora.
Mang or something.
Mako.
Mako,
that's close.
something. Or Mako.
No, Mang's a wrestler.
Yeah.
That's Ming.
Ming.
No, Mang, I was right.
Tongue and death grip.
What else
Yeah,
do I
tongue
have?
and death grip.
I know what you're talking about.
Candy Factory Daydream.
Oh yeah,
Put more razor blades in the chewing gum.
so good.
Acid rain in the jawbreakers. Like what?
How do you put acid rain in that? That I don't understand.
Logic, you know.
That's what bad guys are capable of.
Joe Piscopo hamming it up in that whole scene
Was great.
Was very satisfying.
They're
to watch.
like neo, like punk goth.
What was the next movie Joe Piscopo
Fucking
did after
clowns.
this?
Oh, that's
What I'm curious about. Like, what propelled him after this? This obviously he was in
Is
some
he alive?
great movie after. I'm sure he's alive. He's in great shape.
He'll be alive forever.
Yeah.
The next movie he was in was called Huck and the King of Hearts, but
There's no way that's good.
he was also
Oh no.
he had a voice on Goof Troop, I guess.
That's way better.
Joe Piscopo truly is a goof troop.
Does anyone want to talk about milk?
Oh, that's Eric's favorite part for sure.
Oh, great. All right.
Well, let's talk about this.
Okay. Barry is having one of his trademark daydreams.
Trademark.
So Barry,
Arguably the best one.
Barry walks into a Western saloon as a cowboy with Chuck Norris.
yes.
And he arrives at the bar, and the bartender asks him what he wishes to drink. And he goes, milk. And the entire saloon starts cracking up. And Chuck
Reasonably
Norris flashes his piece. Bartender, make mine milk too.
And everyone shuts up right quick.
They shut the fuck up.
Well, yeah. When Chuck Norris wants milk, you listen.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then they served them disgusting milk in a shot glass.
Yeah,
and that was
the
just
bartender
gross.
just happened to have milk in like a ceramic container. He's like, here you go, pour milk.
Yeah, it's for making white Russians.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to know the temperature of milk from the Old West.
Yeah, it was already curdled. It was almost butter.
You would immediately have disgusting milk
Cottage
breath as soon as you were done with that.
Ew, milk breath, gross. Gross, Terry. I'd say another one of my favorite parts is going to be at the end, kind of climax of the movie, when Barry is up there and he's competing in the main tournament at the end, and he's in the dojo, and he's got his nunchucks and he starts to do his routine, and it cuts to like the daydream like what he feels like he's doing, the daydream version of himself, and
The ultra cool.
oh yeah, and we see a white ninja, right? The audience,
The good guy
disappears.
ninja.
Oh, yeah.
The audience goes away. Everyone's gone. It's just him on that stage. American flag in the background. Very high contrast. He's flipping through. He's wielding nunchucks, and then the sound effects that his nunchucks are making as they're whipping through the sky are incredible. They've stuck with me my entire life. I just will always remember the sound of those nunchucks.
Like
And
a tiny little hummingbird.
yeah, and the routine is sick, and I don't know. It's so sick.
I've never seen another nunchuck routine, so that's obviously the best one.
Game of Death, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I love the glaring contrast between the Stone Dojo wearing black gis and them wearing red, but in Barry's like daydream, he's like head to toe white.
White ninja, yeah.
Obvi white.
Obviously,
Good guy.
an Asian, too, by the way.
Oh yeah, they
Stunt double, super Asian.
yeah, like you could see it through the eye hole in the ninja suit.
You're gonna try to pass an Asian guy off as like a white guy. Don't have the only part of his body that you show be his eyes.
Yeah, it should be his freaking nose or something.
Yeah. That's Jonathan Brandis.
You'd have like a mesh or something.
yeah, something that would have made that a
Yeah,
little.
he had a great uniform, though. That just looked like something you didn't want to fuck with.
Oh, dude, how do you even get near him?
Looked like a Ninja Turtles like white thing.
Yeah, it was like a white foot soldier.
Yeah,
A white soldier. Wait, that's probably way different.
yeah. Any other favorite parts we want to toss on the table to discuss?
I think that's about it for me.
I like that Mr. Lee, in the process of trying to treat Barry's asthma, was giving him like mysterious like medicines, and one of them was just like this green liquid in a jar, and I was like, that's why he's having daydreams. He's just hopped up on absinthe. It made sense all of a sudden.
Yeah, this whole movie had a new vibe to it after that. Another one of my. It's not even. I just want to talk about it for a second. It's not necessarily my favorite part, but the so at the tournament at the end when they're trying to sign up, the
Oh my god, that shithead.
That fucking asshole.
Oh, that guy's a dick.
the douchebag who was like taking reports would just enjoyed ruining their night.
I know. He was like, you want to compete? You need a full team. You need 4 people. Sorry, bye.
He looked like John Krasinski.
Yeah, like a
Oh,
really
no,
gaunt Krasinski.
That's a horrible insult to John Krasinski.
I get it.
He had the same hair and that same, like, face.
No, you know who he totally reminded me of? The pizza guy from Home Alone.
Yeah, he looked exactly like him. Holy shit.
side-swept
It
hair.
probly is him.
You think it's him? That's the
I don't
same-
know.
It's roughly
That-
the same
yeah,
time
same
period.
era.
1050 or whatever.
Yeah. That was good, and then like when Chuck Norris came, and they got Chuck Norris on the team,
Yeah.
and then he's looking at the papers like Chuck Norris, and then Chuck Norris shows up. He's like, "You got a problem with that, son?"
Shuts him down.
No.
He looked like somebody just, like, crushed his nuts.
Yeah. Chuck Norris can crush your nuts by calling you son.
I had one more favorite part,
Throw it out there.
actually. And it just illustrates how much of a giant douche Joe Piscopo is. When Barry's in his office at the dojo with his dad when he's like wants to sign up for classes, and he's like polishing his trophy as he's talking to him, and Barry just starts having an asthma attack, and he's like, "Can you wheeze a little quieter?" I was like, "What a fucking dick!"
So good.
He was right though.
Oh, yeah.
He was distracting me.
Well, he did step on the mat with his shoes on.
Oh yeah, Bo Bridges really fucked that up for him right from the
Bo.
get go.
What a dad.
Ruining his son's life.
Jeff would never do such a thing.
He's way too cool for that. Actually, before we move on to ratings, let's talk about the parallel of the movie for kids in '92 and for kids now. I know we briefly touched on it, but anything else we want to talk about as far as that goes?
Do you know this movie could drink now? It's 22 years old.
That's crazy to think about.
You know what it would drink? Milk.
Milk.
I don't really have any specific notes to time period.
I don't know. I think it's pretty, like, don't know. It's like Seinfeld. It just doesn't.
It's timeless.
Doesn't go bad. Timeless. Yeah. It's same story that's been told over and over. If you do what you can do.
Yeah, daydreaming about Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
I know we all do it all the time.
You know what I mean. You know, just the underdog doing his thing.
Yeah, I don't think because this movie didn't date itself with any particular technology. Like,
Right.
It wasn't hindered by that at all.
Right. Yeah. It was all martial arts. Which is
kind of like a timeless art, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nunchucks have been wielded the same way for centuries.
Yeah. Underdog story.
I don't know, the clothes.
Yeah, well, see,
But that's it being 92.
They
I know
were
that.
appropriately 1992.
They were yes.
they were not offensively 1992.
Everything was too small.
He
or
lived
too
in a
big.
really nice neighborhood.
He did. Yeah, that Texas
In
neighborhood
Texas,
was
yeah.
nice. Eric, do you have anything? Marks? I have to differentiate now.
No, I think this would hold up for like a modern child. That's the weirdest thing I ever said in my
Modern
life.
child.
Modern
I
child.
almost want to have a kid so I can show him this. Almost.
Almost, yeah, not quite. Yeah, I think this movie would land.
Just a universal story.
And I don't
the hero's
think-
journey.
And this doesn't need a remake because I don't know in what circumstance this would be remade. Like, what action star would someone daydream? Like The Rock? Would someone
No,
daydream
just-
about The Rock?
Exactly.
Just keep Chuck
It'd be like
Norris.
Jet Li or like.
Instead
Jason
of
Statham.
like
Jason
martial
Statham.
arts, it's professional wrestling.
Oh, okay,
that'd
new
be cool.
movie, and that's awesome.
I wish I was The Rock.
They already made that movie. It was called Ready to Rumble.
No, but he actually was. He didn't daydream about it.
David Arquette actually won the WCW title.
He's actually former champion. Yeah,
I do love David Arquette.
Literally worst thing that's ever happened in wrestling.
really. They gave the belt to a celebrity.
Yeah, he actually won it.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the worst thing.
David Arquette didn't even want to win it.
They just made him win it.
Yeah, he was like pissed that he was going to win it. He was like, I don't deserve this. I'm a fucking actor.
You guys can't give this to me.
And Vince Russo was like, you just take it.
But they're all actors, so.
Well, it's different.
I
Yeah, but that's
guess.
what they're acting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like DDP getting the lead role in a
I guess
movie.
there's
oh,
just
wait.
like the physical aspect.
It's kayfabe.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So now let's rate it. So let's rate it then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with.
Yeah,
fuck
I'm gonna
you.
have to give it an unfortunate fuck off.
Oh my god, my fucking father.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
For those unfamiliar with the rating system, it used to be the F word ratings, but this Kids Movie Month, we're going to do the fudge rating system, which is fudge you, fudge off, fudge yeah, what the fudge, or a million fudges in between.
Any other form of fudge.
Any other form of fudge that you'd like to call this movie, you can use to rate. So let's dive in. Who wants to begin?
I'll stick with a fudge, yeah.
Fudge yeah?
Fudge, yeah.
yeah.
Fudge yeah?
Fudge, yeah.
Eric?
Ooh. You know, I wanted to give it a fudge yeah, but I also want to give it my comedy answer of Fudge Norris.
I also have a movie-related rating.
What do you have?
5 motherfudgin' frying dragons.
Oh,
5 out of 5.
nice.
Fudging dragons doesn't sound good, though.
I'll give it a fudge yeah. Because I love it.
Childhood classic.
Yeah.
That's so under the radar.
It
that
so holds up.
Everybody should watch this. You know, it's not that long.
No, that
It's
was
like
a quick
it was
watch.
like $1.20,
Yeah.
if that.
yeah.
I wrote down 46 minutes in. It was going by so fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it flew.
It's awesome. The great, like whatever you're doing, just stop and just like watch this. And if you don't have a copy, email me and I'll send you one. I'll pay you. I'll pay the postage.
Yeah.
I will literally mail you a copy of this movie because it's
Yeah.
impossible to find on DVD. We
Oh,
actually ripped it.
I did find a VHS copy of this at Goodwill. Some idiot sold it by accident.
How much was
sure.
it at Goodwill?
$1.
This was $1. So we bought it on VHS for
That's
$1.
the best dollar you've
Can't
ever
afford
spent.
to not have this.
No, I had to.
Yeah, no, that was totally worth it. So yeah, we own this on VHS. Gives us the good old fashioned vibe that it was supposed to be.
Yeah, this movie totally holds up. I mean, it has just the right of camp and comedy, and it's still funny today.
Yeah.
And it's just a forever relatable story.
Yeah, it's not even funny that I know all the parts and it's like ironically funny. It's legitimately
Yeah.
funny.
It's got some funny
Yeah.
shit in there. Yeah.
Well done, well thought out stuff.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't seen it for a good, 6 years.
6 years probably. And
And
before that was a decade probably.
it made me laugh out loud quite a few times.
Yeah, for sure.
Super good.
Yeah, I was always confused when I told people I'd watch this movie and they're like, "What's that? You never watched Sidekicks? You kidding me?"
Oh, so we can never really be friends.
Yeah, that was one of those situations. Now,
You can't truly know who I am.
I have a quick question for you. So this movie obviously rode on the hype of ninja movies. What was the inception for people to make so many ninja movies for kids? What drove that? I was having this conversation with someone, and someone threw out something interesting, and they were like, "You know what? It probably happened. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles."
Yeah, I would say that was the main
that's
thing.
exactly what I was thinking.
That was the turning point for ninja
Yeah.
stuff. So, because I would say ninja martial arts movies were taken pretty seriously up until that point.
Yeah, for like the
That's
majority of
where
the
kids
80s,
came
you're
in.
getting a lot of canon films type ninja movies, and you're getting like a lot of canon movies in the 80s that were like ninja based. You had like the Godfrey Ho movies, which were silly but meant to be taken seriously.
Yeah. And then all like your legit classics.
Yeah, out of like the late 70s. Actually, probably through the 70s.
Definitely.
Then this, Surf Ninjas, Three Ninjas.
Three Ninjas.
Oh, they're all good.
Ninjas.
Pocket
You know,
Ninjas. And then Mortal Kombat. When did Mortal Kombat come out?
Mortal Kombat came out in 1992 in the arcades.
All right, yeah. So
I
that was huge for me. I thought Sub-Zero and Scorpion were literally the coolest people that's ever existed.
Dude,
that actually haven't existed.
I was at Fun Spot, which is an arcade in New Hampshire. It has like a whole ton of like classic arcade games and shit.
Let's go right
And
now.
It's awesome. But there were like two 8-year-olds having an argument over who was cooler, Scorpion or Sub-Zero, and I was like transported back in time to when I was in second grade. I was like, you kids are made 20 years ago.
You kids are going
You should watch
places.
Sidekicks.
Here you go, kids.
But I thought it was so funny that they were having the same exact argument 20 years later. Like, I didn't think that property would hold up for
I don't know.
so
When
long.
Mortal Kombat 3 came out and like all the other new guys came out, I saw it. I went to putt-putt golfing games when I was still living in New York, and I was watching people do finishers on an arcade, and it's still to this day. I mean, like one of my more vivid memories of just that being like the coolest thing in the world with Cabal and Cyrax and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the big big pushes along with Teenage
Yeah,
Mutant
how
Ninja
good was that
Turtles.
soundtrack?
Yeah,
I think of that all the time.
Plus, just making a movie with Chuck Norris in 1992 was not a risk in itself whatsoever.
Yeah, he was very established. See,
This is pre-Walker Texas Ranger.
Yeah, and this is so when I was a kid growing up. I mean, I've probably watched this movie when I was no older than 7.
Yeah,
so
7
probably
here.
6,
Yeah.
7 years old.
Yeah,
Watched
I was
this
6
movie.
when it came out. So
I didn't know who Chuck Norris was, but I understood this movie anyway.
I did. My dad was all over like Delta Force, like Chuck
Oh, no.
Norris, Steven Seagal, like fucking cheesy action movies of the 80s. My dad was like it.
This was my first exposure to Chuck Norris.
Mine
So my first exposure was him breaking the wall. So like I've always known him as, oh, that's Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
So you know, like
My
kid
whole
version
life.
of Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
I haven't seen many other Chuck Norris movies.
No, I really haven't seen that many either.
He's
Just-
not a
that's-
gifted actor.
That's the other good thing about this movie, though, is you don't even have to know who Chuck Norris is because it sets him up. Like, it shows you, oh, Black Belt Magazine, he's on the cover, and
Yep.
like this kid is like looking up to Chuck Norris as like this action star who, you know, can take place in like military fashion, or he's like a karate guy, or he's a Western.
I remember.
actor, yeah.
I remember when I was showing my dad this movie, and he showed me the Bruce Lee movie he was in.
Oh, Way of the Dragon.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's like, that's the same guy, and I went, no.
No, he doesn't have a beard.
There's no beard. That's exactly right. He looks so weird. There's none of this going on.
Yeah,
There's no
all of his
beard.
beard hair is on his chest instead.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah, I just started crawling.
Then
up
he showed
his
me the
body.
one with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, Game of Death.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, well.
So your dad introduced you to some good shit.
So can we talk about the very last bit of this movie and how open-ended it left it?
That was absurd.
It is absurd.
super.
So I mean, what do we think about a Sidekicks 2? Well, let's talk about the ending first.
Yeah, set it up for us.
So we have Chuck Norris wins the tournament for.
Spoiler alert.
Well,
Barry
I'm sorry. Chuck Norris ties up the tournament to bring it into a sudden death where Cellini and Gabrewski face off in brick breaking.
I love the sentence Cellini versus Gabrewski.
And Cellini whiffs.
And Cellini whips because he asked for one more brick because he's a douche.
Because he's a prick. He asked for a brick.
I fucked it up. God damn it. All right, now it's good. And so
Take it from the top.
All right. Welcome to Second Class. So Gabrewski wins the tournament for everyone. Yay, yay. We broke some bricks. We're outside now. Chuck Norris, he's got his Black Belt magazine. Chuck Norris vanishes, right?
He vanishes. He
Yeah,
totally
so
vanishes.
he's basically like, thanks, Chuck Norris. And Chuck Norris is like, no problem. And Barry walks away and leaves his magazine on the bench. And then he turns around and Chuck Norris is magically gone.
Yeah, he vanishes.
Because
then
he
some
imagined
kid
him
Walks
this
away to
whole
the lake
time.
mist.
Which makes me believe that he wasn't there the whole time.
Everyone had the same delusion.
Everyone, yeah, or just Barry's just in a coma somewhere.
Who is Joe Piscopo fighting?
Danica McKellar.
Yeah, it was Danica McKellar the whole time. And then
Beat the shit out of Joe Piscopo.
I bet she could probably win now.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
probably.
sure. Oh, definitely. And so
She got a PhD in ass kicking.
and then Noreen comes out with Barry's dad, and they have the trophy, and yay, they walk off in the distance, and then all of a sudden comes another child to pick up the black belt magazine left behind by Barry, and the kid goes, wow, and then it zooms out, it doesn't zoom out, it cuts out to a wider shot, kid's in a wheelchair. He starts wheeling away.
Sidekicks 2 is obviously going to be he regains his leg strength from the power of Chuck Norris.
Or would it be called Side Wheel?
Yeah.
Is that awful?
I don't think so, Tom.
I don't know. No, that's funny.
Okay.
Let's talk to Aaron Norris.
Yeah.
Aaron? Andrew? Andy?
Okay. Aaron.
Andy? I was right.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Twitter.
Aaron Norris. Yeah, we can hit him up.
Power of Twitter.
I know. Accessible people, man.
Hey, we watched your movie and it was amazing. Let's do a second one.
It was
We
just as amazing as
yeah.
it was in
I've got the
1992.
spec script right here, man.
Kickstarter.
Yeah, I'll just write the spec script for him. I'll be like, hey, thought of Sidekicks 2 for you. It's called Sidekicks 2 Side Wheels. Here you go, man.
Dude, if they can
Chuck Norris is actually still in it.
if they can get Samurai Cop 2 funded, they should be able to get Sidekicks 2 funded.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, I agree with that. So are there any final thoughts regarding this movie before we wrap ourselves up here?
No. This movie rules. See it.
It's a,
Yep.
it's a great movie. Good everything. Watch it.
Great addition to Kids Movie Month.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not
recommend.
necessarily, I mean, it's a kid's movie, obviously, but it's for all ages.
It's a family
Yeah.
movie.
Ages 9
for
to
sure.
99.
Yeah,
Starting lineup.
I watched exactly. I watched it with my family, and I'm pretty sure we enjoyed it. I just remember hitting the credits for this movie and being so fucking pumped when this movie was
Gotta
over.
rewind it.
I
Watch
remember
from the beginning.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I remember watching it and like starting it over and like driving for like 10 minutes to waiting for it to rewind and then playing it from the beginning.
Remember rewinding stuff, guys? Gross.
The
yeah,
movie
we
I
had to be kind
the movie
back then. Now we're all assholes because we don't have to rewind.
The movie I had before this was like a 30-minute Sesame Street thing with Big Bird at the fire hall.
Oh,
It was at that, so I watched that a bunch of times too. Not nearly as cool.
so that was also in the van.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's a good collection in there.
Yeah, you gotta have Sesame Street.
You need a little piece. So if that's it,
That's it.
that's it. You've been listening to Second Class Cinema. We watched Sidekicks, 1992, and that's an all-around recommend. Recommended for kids, recommended for adults. It's a good family movie. Show it to the chillins. If you'd like more information, you can visit us on Facebook, facebook.com/secondclasscinema. We are on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram,
Podbean,
Stitcher, and a bunch of other places, iTunes. We're also on fatfootfilms.com. They're posting a backlog of episodes, starting with Robo Vampire. And they're now up to Deadly Prey, and they're just going to keep going on there. They also have a new movie coming out called How I Dumped My Ex-Boyfriend's Body. They're selling that on there.
We saw it last week. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, we caught that at a showing. Pretty
It's
good.
hilarious.
Eric was there in spirit.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I was Eric by proxy.
There you go. But yeah, check them out, fatfootfilms.com. Check out our stuff. Check out their stuff. It's a good place to be. I think we're done.
Yeah.
This is where it ends. Eric, thanks for coming by.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me, and it was a great time.
Great.
Next time, something else that's like the dumbest movie ever. Just let me know.
Yeah. So good night, everyone.
Good night.
We're gonna keep going with Kids Movie Month. We have a double feature coming up next week.
Ooh, I'm excited about that.
Anything else anyone wants to say?
No.
What do you have? Milk.
Hey, how about some cookies?
Bartender, make mine milk too.
Sure, Ranger.